welcome along to What's on My Holding Shelf Part 2. And by holding shelf I mean all the videos that I've got, or Blu-rays or whatever, that I'm currently processing. I don't want to put them on the shelf and then find out I don't like them, and I've got to take them out of the shelf, and then you've got to rearrange and move things about. So in order to stop that, I've got a bit of a holding shelf where I keep all these extra ones that I've got, probably on the cheap. Most of them are from Poundland. You've probably seen all of these before on many people's Poundland hauls, but this is the last part of what's on the holding shelf. So the first one is the House of Cards Season 1. Now, I haven't watched it, I haven't watched any of them. I really like Kevin Spacey, but as you all know, Kevin Spacey has fallen very much out of favour at the minute, and it put a bit of a crimp on this for me, and I don't know if I'll ever get round to watching it, but I've got it and it's there. I don't think for 1 minute it's going to stay there. I might watch it, I might not. I like the thought of behind this particular Blu-ray or this TV series, but in the current climate, I don't know if this is going to fly with me. And saying that, there's House of Cards 2, cheap, £2 out of Poundland obviously, and yeah, the same goes for this one as well, and also the same goes for Season 3. I got all these before they sort of hit the fan, so yeah, it sits on the shelf, but it doesn't sit comfortably on the shelf. Anyway, moving swiftly along. The next one is a one I think I've talked about before in one of my monthly hauls. It's I, Frankenstein. I bought this because I like the thought of watching Frankenstein movies, but when I flicked through it, I was less than impressed by what I saw. It seemed a bit like Van Helsing, a gothic type of thing, which didn't really connect with me. I'll probably watch it, but it's really low on my to watch list. Then this one, loads of people would have seen it, and funny enough, I've never seen it. I've always been intrigued by it. I would like to get the 4K, but I saw the Blu-ray and I thought I'll get this on the cheap. It's only £2. I'll check it out. I probably will like it, but if I don't like it, I'll not have wasted X amount of pounds on a 4K. And that's Inception. I hear mixed views about this. I don't mind films that don't make too much sense, and this apparently is a little bit hard to follow, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's made by Christopher Nolan, so it's got all the things going for it. Leonardo DiCaprio, who is always usually quite good. So for me, it's worth a watch, and I will watch it. It's quite high on the list to watch, but it's in the to watch slot at the minute. Next one. Now think of Kevin Spacey, and then think of this one. Now, yeah, if you know the story behind Jeepers Creepers. Yes, it's meant to be a good horror film, but of course the director, writer, whatever he did with this film, has been really up to no good with kids, and it does not really sit well with us. It's there, but I don't know if it's ever gonna find a space or whatever. I don't know what's gonna be the end of this, but it's there under duress. I got that gifted off Hall Goss 73, and we're obviously all aware of what it is. He said it's a good film. Do you want to put? It's up to you whether you want to put the sort of controversy behind it. I don't know at this point, and I don't know if it sits too well with him as well. Okay, it's a strange story that. Anyway, moving along swiftly from all that type of thing. Another Poundland goodie. This is Kickboxer, and it's unopened. It's got a lovely slipcover. That's one of the things that drawn to us. It's got Dave Bautista in it, and yeah, it's one of them films that you think I could see myself watching it, just for a laugh. But I was drawn to the slipcover at first, and yeah, it might be good, it might not be. I like Dave Bautista. He's usually all right. Don't know if I like that style of film though. But saying that, I got this one as well, and I think there's only £1 in CEX. Lovely slipcover on it. And it's also well, I don't know, I think it follows on from that one. I don't know if I'll get the other ones. It's an impulse buy, as most of these are. It might be all right, but it might not be. But anyway, if it's not, I've not wasted too much money. It'll go back to CEX. This one I've talked about in a haul before, a haul, I think it was probably me February haul, that I got this, I watched half of it, I quite enjoyed it. It's not great. I've got to watch the rest of it before I decide or not to keep it in my shelves, or does it go the distance. It's on a knife edge at the moment. Arnie, watch your step. This one's been gifted to me from Holgoss 73 again, and it is The Last Starfighter. Now, I believe I've watched this. I think it's definitely a region A disc. I don't know if it's multi-region or not. I have got a multi-region player, but so I can watch it. But I will get round to watching it. It does intrigue us quite a bit. But I can't remember if I have watched it. I can't remember it at all, which would be quite good for the rewatched value, if that's an even word. Next one is Legion. I've heard good things about this. This was a Poundland haul one when you could buy these for £1 and they put the prices up to £2, which is ridiculous, isn't it? But yeah, it's meant to be okay. Yeah, it's quite high on the list to watch. Now this one is really high on the list to watch, but I would prefer it in 4K. I'm teetering on whether or not to get it on 4K. This one here it's come with a lovely slipcase. It's one of the ones that I was looking for in Poundland, and it's got a good review. I know Movie Worm thought very highly of it, and most people I've seen have, and I know that it's sort of like a play on Alien as well. But yes, Life, nice slipcover. I would like it on 4K. I want to see if the 4K is much better like quality than the Blu-ray. If it's not, I'll just keep the Blu-ray. But it's nearly watched it the other day actually, but it's very high up on the list. But yeah, might be one of them ones that really surprises you, which I think it probably would be. Probably one of the best ones on the shelf. This other one was walking a tightrope as well, Limitless. I don't really care much for De Niro at the minute. He doesn't seem to be making a good film to save his life. Mind you, Bradley Cooper is with A Star Is Born. He came back into my sort of thinking he's not too bad actually. So this was nearly ready to be sold. So I thought, well, I'll give it a watch. It might be all right. Obviously, De Niro was great in Joker as well. So you know, it's come back on my list to say I'll not ditch it before I even watch it. This one is another one, just straight from Poundland. Like, well, I don't know. It might be atrocious, I don't know. Just one of them things. I thought, why not? £2. So this last bunch here is from Poundland, another one, £2. I like the cast in this. There's a few people in there. Obviously, Steve Coogan, Paul Rudd, Rashida Jones are people that I watch quite a lot anyway. So I thought, why not? Never heard of it, but the cast might make or break that. This is another one from Holgoss 73, gifted as well. Good lad. He's got this for us, which is I don't know if it's region 3 or it's region A. I'm not too sure about these ones. It doesn't really say too much on the cover, although it is from America, and that's the I think it's 1980 Outland. I've seen this a long time ago, and I quite enjoyed it actually. It's not like Blade Runner, but it's got a bit of a Blade Runner type feel to it. I don't even know if that will feel like that now after watching it after all these years, but I remember thinking it was okay back in the day. So yes, that's definitely in for a watch. This one was another one that everyone was after at Poundland, and I managed to snag one, and felt quite good about it, even though it's a film that it's not really high on my list to watch, but it was one of them ones where I thought, it seemed like The Shallows 4K, everybody was after that one. I never managed to get myself one, although I got a Shallows Blu-ray, which I sent to somebody on Facebook. But so yes, so this is it a metal book? I'm not too sure. It's not a steel book, and it's definitely not a regular Blu-ray, but I think it's called a metal book. Johnny Depp, Public Enemies, is it? Yeah, Public Enemies, and yep, could give it a watch. That could be high up my list, and also apparently it's got a really atrocious CGI scene in it as well, which I like. I like bad stuff if it's bad. This next one is definitely from Poundland. It stars Christopher Lee. It is a Hammer film. So for that reason, I do like the sound of it. I don't know if it's got a great review, but I'm interested in it from the Hammer aspect because I like Hammer films. This one as well, cheap. Don't know, might be completely stupid. I like the theory behind it. I like that. I know there's a book about this. I don't know if it's taken from the same book, but yeah, it's, well, cheap. Why not? These next couple star somebody who I quite like, Ryan Gosling, and obviously Bradley Cooper as well, which I didn't know there at this point. This is The Place Beyond the Pines. Never seen it, but I do quite like Ryan Gosling, so the next 3 films, including this one, are Ryan Gosling, so I'm going to give it a go. Same with Nice Guys, Poundland, £2. It might be alright, might be not, but it doesn't matter too much. You might come across, say something like this could be really good to me, so for that reason it's worth taking the risk, and for £2 I think I can do that. And the last one in his series that I've got from there is Only God Forgives. Yes, let's just give it a go and see what happens, as most of them would be. This one as well, I don't think this was from Poundland actually. It might have been, no, it was from Poundland. Yep, might be alright. I don't know if I particularly care for these type of films. I have got a couple of them, but the cast is quite interesting, and I've heard some good things about these films, so I'll give it a whirl. The same goes for this one, although it's a rattler because the case inside is busted. St. George's Day, it's got a pretty good cast, and also this guy here, he's usually quite good in his stuff, and he seems like a right hard nut in real life. He might not be. This next one is the one that was after us again, the same like the metal book that I got. This is a steel book from Poundland. Don't know if I'll ever watch it. I got it because I just thought, well, you know, why not? I think everybody last year, the start of last year, was very much in this sort of Poundland haul mania, if you can call it a mania, where we had to go and try and find these desirable titles. But it's in perfect nick, never been opened, and yeah, Liam Neeson, Pierce Brosnan, could be alright. This next one, Poundland again, Spring Breakers. I do like James Franco, although a lot of people are going off him at the minute, so could be fun. Same with this one. I've never seen it before, which is strange for me because I'm a big fan of John Carpenter. Starman. It's not a special edition, but it's region free, and it's also quite a good quality on the Blu-ray because I had a look at it. I will watch it. It's probably high up on my list because of it being John Carpenter. Don't know when I'll get to watch it because there's a lot more on me proper shelves that I need to watch, but this is probably one that's probably going to get on the shelves at this point. This is another one that everyone who's seen it think it's a great film. Never seen it, but I have been on holiday. I went to Leith, so for that reason I'll give it a shot to see if it's a bit of a sort of nostalgia thing with us. But it's meant to have it's meant to be a good film in essence. This next one is Top 5, Chris Rock, Rosario Dawson. Yeah, it's got a good cast, people that I like to see, and I'll give it a whirl. I did like the look of it. Another one is gifted from Hall Goss 73, and it's a John Cena movie, 12 Rounds extended cut. It's a US version, and I don't know if it's region free or not. It doesn't matter because I've got my multi-region player. I'm interested in saying I quite like John Cena in films. The films I've seen him in, he's been all right. He's been quite either quite funny, or he's been quite like an action star, or a bit over the top. But yeah, he's watchable. This next one was one I bought a long time ago from Poundland for £1, and it's a one called Vile. Maybe it is Vile, I don't know. It's worth a shot. It's only £1. Nice black box as well if I need it for something. This next one is £2. No, actually I think I got this from CEX. This is only £1 at CEX. Welcome to the Punch. Two great actors there. You've got I'm going to blank on the names now, aren't I? James McAvoy and Mark Strong. Two great actors who, when I watch them, I always get a good film out of them, and they're very watchable. So the trailer for this looked really good as well. And the last one in this shelf of the holding shelf, which these films might get onto the shelves. They're in the sort of limbo at the minute, or they just might be ditched straight back to CEX or eBay or wherever. Usually all of them are brand new or thereabouts. And this one, which I'm very interested in watching it, it does promise a lot on the cover, saying, you know, Mad Max meets Dawn of the Dead. What a line to have. That in itself makes you want to watch it. Strange enough, it's a rental copy. Do you remember that? Do you remember back in the day when you could rent stuff? So that shows you how long ago it was, if it was out released. I don't know when it was released. And it's a Studio Canal as well, who they're a company which are going really high up in my estimations. So yes, so that's my holding shelf part 2. So that's everything on my holding shelf at the moment, which will be reviewed probably when usually I'll go for the shortest film first. That's how I do it, because if I got a film that's like really long, it puts us off a little bit, especially if it's one I haven't seen, and it might be one that won't offer much when you watch it and you think, what on earth have I just watched? What on earth have I wasted 3 hours of my life for? But anyway, once again, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate all your comments that you're leaving, and if you like this video, you can please subscribe to my channel, and also click like button and comment down below and tell me what you think of some of them films, if you think they're absolute garbage or you think they're really good and you think I should benefit from watching them. I'd be interested in your feedback. So until that time, take it easy.